Hello. Today I'm going to talk about gamification at English class, and I would like to share my experience of gamifying English lessons in my school. We all know that today our students are a little bit different. They don't want to listen to teachers. They prefer chatting with their friends, and they think that exercises in course books are very boring. So, many teachers now are looking for new ways of motivation this millennial generation. In my school, we decided to address to gamification. Gamification is now a new trend in education and in business. It is the use of game thinking and game mechanics in non-game contexts. Okay, I'm going to show you two pictures just to give a little bit to give an idea of what gamification is. Okay, if you have little children, probably you have this problem. You give them soup and they don't want to eat it. Okay, with this soup bowl, they will be motivated to eat as much soup as possible. So if you eat as much, you are at level 1. If you eat this much, you are at level 2, level 3, level 4, and at the bottom of the plate it is written, do you want to quit, or would you like to start once again and probably have another portion of soup? And one more picture. It was taken at Manchester Football Museum, where Macmillan held a party last year at the TEFL conference. So, how can you make men be more accurate in the toilet? Okay, why don't scoring a goal? And actually, gamification is all around us nowadays. Air miles that you get flying planes, coffee points that you get from some coffee shops. Okay, so the idea is very popular everywhere in education and in business. And what is the most important thing in gamification? Why does it work? Okay, as it is written here, technically the only two things that you are enjoying it is serotonin and dopamine, two hormones which are inside our body. And so, how does dopamine work? It is considered to be the main motivator. When you do something and get a positive feedback, dopamine is released into your blood. So you feel this reward, you feel this pleasure with dopamine, and that's why you wish it serves as a trigger and you wish to repeat this action again. You do this action again, you again get positive reward, dopamine is released into your blood, and so this is a dopamine loop. And actually, this is a very important thing for us to understand. When you give your students tasks, they should be incremental, quite short. Students can't wait to be reloaded or to be rewarded, at the very end of the term. So all rewards should be quite immediate. So you should keep it in mind. Well, actually, to understand how to gamify your lesson, we should understand which components, which elements make games so appealing. So this is a gamification pyramid. At the lowest level, we have game components. Badges, points, leaderboards, things like this. Then we've got game mechanics with all chances, challenges, competition, and so the way the game is structured. And on the top we've got game dynamics. Okay, the story, which is introduced into a game. Okay, now let's see how these components really work. Of course, you don't have to have all of them at your lessons, and you can choose only those elements and mechanics that you feel would contribute to your lesson. How we started our work, how we started gamification of our lessons, English lessons at my school. We started with introducing game components or game elements. So we decided that our students are going to travel to a distant planet, and to travel to set off on a trip, they need a spaceship. And we used a Lego spaceship as a progress bar. Each lesson, our students could buy uh, one element, one part of Lego, and so they started building their Lego ship. For each correct answer, they were given this small piece of cardboard with a picture of a spaceship on it. For correct answers during the lesson, for their homework, so they earned these experience points. So each game, yeah, usually have experience points, and also we give our students badges to mark their achievements. There could be a badge which allowed you not to do homework, or which could double all your experience points. And of course, we had a kind of a leaderboard. It was very simple. We just put students' names, and we wrote their points. So at the beginning of each lesson, we wrote the number of experience points that they had. And you see, some of our students were at the top, and some of them were at the bottom. And very often teachers ask me, aren't those people at the bottom demotivated? Well, the answer is no. You see, these people, they understand that they would never beat the leaders in the group, but they set a goal. Okay, I'm at this position at the very top, and my goal is to beat at least these two people who are above me and get to a new group. I am a lance corporal, so I want to become a corporal. So if I beat at least these two people who are above me, I will feel that I'm not a loser, that I am a winner. And the results were immediate. Our students started working very hard. If they missed a class, they asked for extra assignments, and all their homework was always done. And well, today we still use this system of points, badges, leaderboards, which is called PBL, and in different games we give different experience points. They can be spookies, brains, or spaceships, but today we don't draw a leaderboard on the blackboard. We use a service which is called Class Dodger. It is very convenient, so you can see the result of your students, and you can share these results with their parents, and students can design their own avatar, or at least they can choose the way they would like to look like. So, well, there was one but. This system of points, badges, and leaderboards, it doesn't last for a long time. It gives only short-term motivation. And what is more, student focus is on points, on earning experience points, and the focus is not on English. In my experience, students even try to cheat and steal experience points from their fellow students. So we understood that, well, we can't use only this first layer of gamification pyramid, and we should to go further. So many people understand gamification only as PBLs, points, badges, leaderboard, and think that this is not a very good thing. But actually, that is a PBL, points, badges, leaderboard. It is only the lowest level of gamification. And if you really want to gamify your lesson, you should go further. Okay, we started thinking about game mechanics and what kind of game mechanics can we introduce to our lessons. These were competitions and lots of games, and of course there were two things that we wanted to use in at our lessons, in our games. We wanted to introduce meaningful choices and tries and fails. Okay, let's talk about it a little bit more. When you want to gamify something, this something should be well done. If you gamify a low quality product, gamification won't work. So we started with our lessons. If we teach in traditional way, uh, our students won't be motivated even if we introduce points and badges and leaderboard. Of course they will, but it won't last long. So we decided to reconstruct our lesson. We started thinking about games and activities which could be used at every stage of a lesson. So we made this table. So let's imagine, so we've got vocabulary lesson. Okay, the first stage of the vocabulary lesson, what is it? It is introduction of new vocabulary. So which games and activities can we use at our lesson? Not exercises, but which games and activities can we use to introduce to present target vocabulary? So we made a list. Which games and activities can we use to practice this vocabulary? Which games and activities can we use to activate these games and activities in real life? And when we started choosing games and activities from the internet, one more thing that we realized. Okay, in the internet there are there are many games and activities which could be used for English lessons, but they are mainly activities, they are not games. So we faced one more problem. We had to transfer all activities into real games to keep our students motivated, because when you say okay, let's play a game, it won't make an activity into a game. So when you say okay, let's play a game, you are in a cafe, you are a guest and you are a waiter. Well, actually this is not a game. Or let's play a game, let's do this crossword. This is also not a game, this is a puzzle. In what makes a game? In a game you have a goal, you have two agents, you have a kind of competition, and you have a reward in the end. So these are things that unnecessary for any game. So what about fails? What is the biggest difference between traditional school and game-based education, or games which we play? When you're at school, you can't fail, or when you fail, so you feel upset and depressed and demotivated. So you study some material, then you write a test, and you either win or fail. When you play a computer game, you start doing something, you fail, you try to do it once again, you fail, you try to do it once again, you fail again, and you learn through these fails. So we started thinking of how we can apply it to our English lessons. Can we allow our students fail at the beginning of a lesson? Okay, we created a board game. Our students found themselves in a haunted house, and they had to find a way out of this house. Okay, I will show you another picture. Okay, they started with this first room. So what could they see in the room? A mirror, a table, a ladder, a window. They decided for themselves where they want to start, where they want to go. For example, they come to the broken mirror. The mirror breaks and it can cut you. if you give a wrong answer. Okay, they start doing this activity, and in this activity we actually practice our target vocabulary. They fail, they get hurt, they go back, uh, they start with another activity, for example, broken TV. It gives them an electric shock if they give a wrong answer, and they get back. And they decide, okay, why don't we go and learn these words first before we start doing the activities on these cards? And this is their own decision. It's not the teacher who says, okay, for today's lesson you will need to learn these 7 words because we have to use them at the end of the lesson to do our speaking activity. Students' motivation is much higher. They want to learn these words because, well, it's very useful to fail at the beginning, and then you study something because you really realize why you need this or that material. So this is how we that's why we are not afraid of fails, and we try to make our students fail at the very beginning of the lesson, to increase their motivation. One more thing that I thought a lot about, it was meaningful choice. In any game, a player feels that he takes the control over the game. And at our English lessons, usually it is the teacher who takes control over the lesson. So how could students work out their own strategy and decide what to do at a lesson? We tried this technology. You can see 3 doors. So each door, it is a task, it's a mission, or maybe just an exercise from a course book. 2 students can enter 1 door, but only 1 student will be the winner. The difficulty of the task is indicated on the door. It can be very easy, a little bit more difficult, and the most difficult task. And you decide which door you want to go to and who is going to be your competitor. So you can think, okay, I don't want to go with Jack because he's a very strong student and I don't have any chances. I'd better go with Mary, and probably I will have a chance to beat her and to take these 2 experience points. And I'm not going to I don't want to go to the most difficult door. I want to go to another door which is less difficult. And so students can work on their own strategy. So you can use drawers, you can use Starbucks you fight with, or these can be just, I don't have this slide, these can be just pieces of paper with the indication of the difficulty of a task, which is hidden under this piece of paper. And what is more, students do the task, they have the keys, the answers, they exchange their papers, check their opponent's work, and they see who's the person with the greatest number of correct answers is the winner. And the teacher doesn't do anything. A teacher is just a facilitator, and he just his task is just to make sure that everything is in order and that students know what they do. So this is how we introduce meaningful choices to our games. And do you remember? So we discussed the first layer of the gamification pyramid, the second layer, and what about the third one? Game dynamics, stories, narration, emotions. Why do people like watching films, reading books? Well, that is the story that makes them interested. And we started to think, can we introduce real stories to our games? Because students, they will be involved much deeper into the learning process. And at first it was very difficult to create stories, but at some point we realized that a story, it's very easy to make up a story. All the stories are practically the same. There is a poor person, Luke Skywalker, Harry Potter. He has two friends and he fights with one evil person with the help of some artifact, and in the end he wins and lives happily ever after. So all the stories are just the same, and if you introduce a hero and anti-hero to the game, so the story will be very good. And now we create games for our students like Haunted House, or our new game is Ingrid, where students work with artificial intelligence. And when we play these games with our students, we try to remember that the most important thing is to have fun. If you really believe in your game, and if you feel that you are part of a game and not just a teacher, if you don't want only to teach your students this or that target language, but if you want your students to enjoy the process, okay, then you will be teacher of over 2000 level, and well, their best friend probably. So remember to have fun. Thank you for your attention.